So, if you're in marketing, you know how fast things change, right? There's always a new buzzword, and the latest one I've been hearing everywhere is vibe marketing. It sounds a little out there, but it promises to completely change the game. The big question is it for real or just another trend that'll fade out? All right, so what even is vibe marketing? Basically, you use AI and automation to build this marketing machine. The idea is that this machine can run tests, figure out what's working, and scale your campaigns, all without you having to do it manually. The people who are all in on this say it lets a tiny team get the kind of results you'd normally need a huge agency for. And you can see why that's so tempting. It's about ditching the slow, old school way of doing things for a strategy that's quick and based on actual data. You let the AI handle all the boring, repetitive stuff, which frees you up to do what people are good at, being creative and thinking about the big picture. But not everyone is buying it. There's another side to this conversation. Critics are basically saying, hold on a minute. They think it oversimplifies what marketing is all about, which is real human connection. They're worried that if you lean too hard on AI, you'll just end up with a bunch of cheap, generic content and spammy emails that will just turn people off and hurt your brand. And that's where it can get a little tricky. There's a real dark side here. The tech can be super fragile, the AI generated content can feel, well, robotic and mediocre. And if you automate too much, you could accidentally destroy the trust you've worked so hard to build with your audience. Critics raise valid concerns about vibe marketing's shadow side. Technical fragility plagues complex workflows, add too many tools and steps, and systems break down constantly, consuming more time than they save. The promise of efficiency often masks a fundamental misunderstanding. Marketing isn't just about content volume or operational speed. So, where does that leave us? What's the bottom line? The future probably isn't robots versus humans. It's about finding that sweet spot. It's about using these powerful new tools to do the heavy lifting, but guiding them with our own taste, our own judgment, and our own creative spark. That's how you build something that actually lasts. Look, vibe marketing is a seriously powerful tool. There's no doubt about it. But just like any tool, it's only as good as the person using it. And you might be wondering, okay, sounds interesting, but is it actually right for me? Is it right for my business? And that's the perfect question to ask, because honestly, it's not a one size fits all kind of deal. So, who is this really for? Well, think about startups or small agile teams. If you're trying to compete with the big guys but don't have a massive budget or a huge staff, this could be your secret weapon. It lets you automate and scale up your efforts to get those big league results. It's also perfect for anyone who just loves data and tech, the growth hackers, the systems thinkers. If you get excited about A/B testing and optimizing funnels, you're going to feel right at home here. We're also seeing it work really well for e-commerce stores or SaaS companies. Basically, any business that relies on a constant flow of leads and data to make decisions. But the most important piece, you have to be someone who can guide the machine. It isn't set it and forget it. You need that human oversight to make sure the quality is there and you're not accidentally spamming people. Now, let's be real for a second. Who should probably steer clear? If you run a luxury brand that's built on a feeling of exclusivity and a personal high touch experience, this is probably not your jam. An AI driven mass market approach could seriously damage that handcrafted reputation. Same goes for any business that relies on deep long term personal relationships like high end consulting. And it almost goes without saying, if your team isn't comfortable with new technology or has zero tolerance for risk, this is a definite pass. The whole system can be fragile, and you have to be willing to experiment. Perhaps you take small steps to see how much of vibe marketing actually makes sense for your organization. So, at the end of the day, it comes down to this: vibe marketing is for the nimble, the tech savvy, and the data obsessed who need to scale fast. It's for the builders and the testers. But if your brand is all about that personal human touch, you're better off sticking to what already works for you. As I stated previously, perhaps you take very small steps to see how vibe marketing works for you and your organization. It's all about finding the right fit. Wondering if this is the right strategy for you? Let's talk about it. Reach out and we can figure it out together.